War and Waste continues. This is a continuation of the last episode. We went into the investigation cards. 70% of our scrap occurs in 10% of our runs. So most of our runs that we do in the shop are clean. We don't fuck them up, we just do the right thing. And then there's a small number of runs that we royally fuck up. We caused $75,000 worth of scrap damage last month of us like destroying product that we shouldn't have destroyed. So what we've done is every single day, let's say 100 runs get turned in on a day, we take the 10 worst runs and we're doing investigations to what is the core issue, what caused this problem. So, that's where you're gonna take over, you.
I'll take over.
Where's the paperwork today? What do you gotta do?
Right now I'm looking at MGT middle toppers, 56.5 inch in cherry.
So how many started the run?
32.
And how many ended the run?
23. Yeah. So we lost 9 of these. 9 of these big panels.
The value of that was $229. The fact that we started with 32 and ended with 23, that is a $229 error.
Fuck! Basically the cost of the wood and then the cost of the labor hours it took to get the wood to this shape.
This is investigator, we need like a Columbo. That's too,
yeah.
It's too old, that's too old.
Who is this?
It's like Sherlock Holmes, but the cool, like the Cumberbatch. What are they? The cool Sherlock Holmes? House. He was a psycho and a narcissist. They had a lot of personality flaws.
Yeah, we're pretty similar people.
We're close. You're the house of Wyrmwood.
Come into my house, JV. Come into my house.
All right, Ian.
I'm actually gonna walk over and do a second. QA will flag things pretty often.
Yeah.
Identifying, because you get one of these, they're like it's bad, and you're like, well, but how? So they'll leave little love notes on arrows directing you to what the problem is.
Okay.
Which is nice. We have the different places it went, CNC, and then QA assessment. So Nicole and Matt were the ones running these at CNC, and they lost 1 right out the gate at CNC. And here it is. So when CNC rejects stuff, we have them send over all the parts that they think are no good for whatever reason. And they sort of list out like, hey, here's what it was and here's what the problem was. It says rot, it just says rot, like rotten wood. So I'm assuming what they were looking at are these giant pitch pockets.
Yeah.
Which you can see how sneaky that was. You couldn't see it from the top of the board, but when CNC took the, 3/8 of an inch off this side, they may have just been in there, just bad luck, it just opened up and there they are.
Yep.
Well, is this acceptable or not? We're pretty tight on things that interfere with the gasket and the spline.
Right.
So that's just rotten luck. Then we had warped, not flat enough. Wood just moves, and there's a certain percentage of panels that just warp beyond what we can accept. Kind of bad luck. Bad luck for us, because they're not usable, but it's also not really something that we can solve.
Yep. What's up with these guys?
Next category, I believe these were flagged for being ugly.
Okay. That's cool. I like character, but okay, I can see why that would get rejected.
Say it. Say it.
I'm ugly.
You're ugly and what?
Square?
No. Proud.
It is cool. I also like character. I've seen a weird gray-blue streak like a couple times, in like all the years I've worked with Cherry. It's very not common, so this isn't gonna match like anything else. So this is kind of like bad luck that the wood looks this way.
Yeah.
And we should have left this out. We shouldn't have actually put it into a panel. Before it went to our CNC department, it went through the QA, our quality assurance department, and they should have flagged this because they flagged it the second time through. It went through them once and they didn't flag it. It went through again and they're like, hey, this one's ugly. So that is 1 bad on them.
Okay. Shame.
Both of these 2 are rejected for
Sapwood?
excessive sapwood. But again, it went through QA once, they didn't flag it, And then it went through QA a second time, and they're like, hey, what's going on? Why is all this sap here? Should have flagged it the first time.
Yep. We got half and half.
Half and half, bad luck. The other 3, we could do better.
Okay.
So it was 9 total, so 3, 6, 9.
All right, let's do it.
So what's up with these? Chamfer bevel over spec. This is a gauge they use to make sure that the end grain here of that bevel is the right size.
Okay.
There's that little line there. It needs to fall within that red line. This one is over that line.
Yep.
It's too high. So what that probably means is when it was run on CNC, it was not aligned quite properly when we cut that out. This whole mess right here are the spec checks at the CNC department when they run these. Number 3 is what we were just looking at. So if we go to number 3, it actually all checked off. So we've got like 5 checks here, 6 checks here. If we're running a pallet of 100 toppers, we don't check every single topper because it takes a lot of time to check every single thing.
Yeah.
Generally with machine setups, you set it up and it's good. But we do check periodically. So it is possible you might have a bad one in the middle that they may not catch over there. So that's probably what happened and why it made it all the way to QA.
Okay.
The fact that we have to go through all these steps of verification and careful measurement and then worry about this little thing being, a few thousandths of an inch too high is what actually makes it so all the tables fit together when you get the stuff. It is kind of crazy and overwhelming, but there's a method to it.
Yep. Sappy?
These are operator error. This is the top. This is the top.
Yep.
That big sap stripe.
Yep.
This is the bottom. One tiny little white spot and it's all completely red.
Ah, okay.
So, when we glued this panel together, we intended for this to be the top of the panel.
I see.
We intended for this to be the bottom.
Yep.
So they ran this one upside down. So these are 2 which are clearly operator error because they were just loaded upside down.
So that's another 2 for the operator pile. We got 1 in just no man's land, we can't say.
Yeah.
We got 3, that's just bad luck, and we got 5, that is an operator error.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what this one looks like.
All right. What are we gonna do?
I actually have to do this blue card thing. I gotta go on this QR code.
Yeah, fun.
And then enter in, I haven't even done this yet. It's like it's a new version.
Yep.
So we can try that. I haven't even done it yet.
Okay.
Okay, blue card investigation 2.0. Investigations and findings. Was it a safety incident? No. Department involved. I can check off multiple departments luckily, which is nice because we had some CNC issues and then we also had I'll put this one under act of God. We left that as a category for when the power goes out, and a bunch of stuff, the program stop halfway, a bunch of stuff gets ruined because you can't restart.
Yep.
And it was really no one's fault. It's just the power went out. Oh no, where's the binder? It's just got worse.
There's a binder.
Doug made a binder yesterday with codes to encode all these issues.
Oh God.
So
how much money are we spending doing this investigation?
A lot. A lot. But the hope is not as much as we're wasting by not doing it.
Yep.
You're gonna go upstairs and get the binder.
All right.
We got a binder.
Binder.
So that's basically the operator.
Is that an error?
Yeah, it's an error.
What's wrong with it?
So these ones, this has a nice big crack right here.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And then this is just something to note, there's a lot of blowout on these ones.
Oh. This job never stops.
No, so these may or may not come up in an investigation in the future. Probably not because we only lost 3.
Yeah.
And the way we're deciding what to go after is the most expensive problems.
Yep.
I mean, Wenge is pretty expensive. If we'd had a box of these, that probably would have hit. One point of this whole thing is to dig into where stuff like this happens, get to that root cause so we can fix that and this doesn't happen. The other thing is what all this coding is about, where it's if that keeps coming up, this coding is gonna flag it for us. We might go have that conversation and think we fixed this problem, but did we fix it? If it continues to come up, we're gonna see over time the major categories where we're losing a lot of, scrapping a lot of value,
Yep.
what the major categories are, and whether or not they're actually being improved by these investigations or not. That's what
Okay.
all this really fun and interesting coding is about. And I'm not even done yet with the first one. Operator ID. So if we want to know who messed up, we can put that in there. If we can figure it out. So we could, just over time, know that JV always glues his panels together upside down.
Yep.
So that we can go and train you to glue them the right way up.
Sure.
But I do know that Nicole and Matt ran some of these upside down.
Yep.
So usually what I do is I go talk to Ryan and we go over what his team can improve on. See if Ryan's busy. Hey Ryan. What's up, Ian? How's it going? You have 5 minutes? Yeah, of course. Hi, JP.
Hey Ryan.
He's very interested in this like true crime sort of stuff.
Yeah, everyone loves a good murder mystery.
We are investigating these middle toppers in Cherry. The two I wanted to flag to you, these guys, where it appears that we ran these
Wrong way.
upside down.
Yep, I see that. No, okay.
That's it.
If that's our only problems, that's not terrible.
So it's that. Problem solved.
So what do you do now with this information, Ryan? Do you
I
crack the
mean-
whip or?
This is 3 toppers. I'm not too worried about it personally. Like, I'll go have a conversation with them and remind them of like A side, B side for toppers, but if I was gonna get mad every 3 toppers, I'd be mad a lot of my day.
Yeah.
Most of the issues that came up on this ticket actually were not attributable to CNC, but there have been times in the gory past where we would have pallets this tall, of all bad pieces.
Yeah.
Due to not paying attention to these certain things. So,
Yeah.
Yep, I bring Nicole back to see this is going to be here.
yeah, we can use that.
Point it out to her. Cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you, Ryan.
No problem. Thank you. All right, so that's one. Want to keep going?
Yeah, let's do it. What's next?
I don't know. We go talk to Hunter about this one. These are Purpleheart player desk mounts. We started with a run of 66 of them, and then when it got to QA to get checked in over here, Brian decided that 3 of them were not up to spec, and then we only had 48. Somewhere in here, we lost the difference. Someone knows something. We're gonna have to find out who. Hey, Hunter. Hello. Do you remember Purpleheart player desk mount? We lost like 18 units somewhere.
I don't know who threw them away.
All right.
No one came up to me to tell me that they scrapped anything.
So you don't know. I'm gonna talk to Joe later.
If I threw anything out, I would have made a note.
Okay.
My second guess would be glue.
So you're thinking we actually lost it further upstream.
I would think so. Hopefully there's a note.
Okay.
The investigation needs to continue.
We hit another brick wall. Investigations, Josh.
Hi, how's it going?
What's up, Josh?
Hello.
You're pretty new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fairly new.
Purpleheart player desk mounts.
Yeah.
Do you remember losing a particularly large amount of those?
No.
Like glue ups that didn't go well that we had to like project them?
Up that I remember that was bad. It was a gap in one. I even marked it off and I believe.
Okay, all right. So that's one. I feel like, because it was 15 of these things. So that's a good sized pile. It would be a pile of wood like that big. I feel like Purpleheart, people would remember throwing away that much wood.
Yeah, I would.
Just can't find anyone yet. We're gonna keep going upstream. You know what's gonna happen? Ultimately, we're gonna find out that Nick and Brendan can't add, and this number at the top is wrong.
Is this the end of the road?
Yeah, I think so. We're stonewalled for today, for sure, but I'm not gonna give up.
Okay.
I think it's Nick's fault.
That's where my money's at.
I think it's Nick's
Yeah.
Who done it? Who stole my baby? Who done it? Everyone in the room looks shady.
What lies are you spouting in here, Ed?
No, well, Ed, what did they tell you? Because he came in here in tears.
You're real hard up for it.
Yeah, no. We were talking about Hello Kitty, as you do. And I was informed by Kelly Maxwell back there, and Jackie were just...
Yeah, say her last name. Doxer.
If I respond to an email, it says Kelly Maxwell.
Kellyanne.
So.
Okay.
Okay, don't dox
The middle name.
Maxwell Coffee Fortune.
What's your middle name, Ed?
But
What's your middle name?
oh, that you're gonna have to.
I don't.
Anyway,
I still
Hello
wanna
Kitty
know.
was told that Hello Kitty is not in fact a cat, according to official lore of some kind, but
Official
was
lore?
a girl. I was made to understand a human girl in a cat suit, so a furry in the parlance of our times.
Oh God.
So underneath the animated cat is an animated girl. The real question here is, what is your middle name, Ed? I need to know.
I'll tell you, but I'm not gonna.
Off camera
Yeah.
is the only time you'll do this?
Yeah.
What if you whispered it in my
What's your
ear
middle
and I said it?
Why
Patrick.
for it?
I didn't get a middle name. My little brother got 2.
What's your middle name, Matt?
Steven.
Dimitri.
Assad.
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 Assad, dude.